children as well, so you might say like my coming. So okay, so I guess let's start. So yeah, so welcome everyone. Like this is like our seventh meet hours, which is produced by the every 2 weeks, or we are trying to like produce every 2 weeks, and this is like the compressor have sieve overview what actually been up to like with the recent days and what's the progress, what we are planning and what we so far delivered. And yeah, I could like probably start the screen sharing, so actually you can like read some content as well. And let me find the stuff. That's now the usual questions. If everybody see the screen, of course it does. So yeah, so this is like the stuff we've been recently, and I think the most important stuff what we actually have these days updates are the review bot, or likely the review process. So we established something like we called like the code review guild, which so far it actually went the pretty well. How it actually works, we actually set something like the code owners, and we set it as right now in the road robin mode. And once somebody like new one submits the pull request to our repository, it actually requests in recent order and who actually been recently active around in the GitHub who can like help with the review. So simple as that. And what is actually current outcome of this is actually it help us to drive the reviews much faster and actually split the load from the single persons to like many other. And if you would like to become the part of the review guild, it's more than welcome, because I just trying to figure out what would be like the incentivize the model behind this. Actually, people can like get paid for these reviews, likely like for the producing the pull request as well. So I think the fair candidates who can like be part of this the code review guild could be like the persons who actually have like pretty great overview in the code base, and probably we can like put there some entry limit, like you need to have like, let's say, I don't know what's the average pull request like the current users, but my best bet would be like at least 50 PRs. So actually it would be like eligible like to be participate there and approving and paying out to the other people. So and with this, it's actually I've been like checking the recent numbers. We got like something like 144 pull requests recently, which actually is like a lot, and we on backgrounds we usually spin up like new hiring pipeline. So I bet we can very easily can cross like 200 pull request line in upcoming 2-3 weeks, I bet, if we keep this tempo or something like that. So that's of course really nice. So yeah, 144 pull requests by 13 peoples right now. So and yeah, once we find like some incentivized models, like everyone's the pay for the time to reviewing the code base, it will be super nice to go on and speed up all the process. And we try to avoid like having in some way like one man show and somebody can like get burned out or something like that. So that would definitely helpful for us. So what's next is like people like often asking like which issues actually to pick or so actually I guess that right now we are looking forward like we got some two milestones, which is like the Brigand and the R House. The Celadron actually is bringing focus on the Explorer, and she's actually preparing the issues around the landing page, and there will be discussed the profile as well. So I bet basically the great optimum how to pick the issues is actually to pick like by the labels. So actually we like utilizing the labels like from the priority one, which is most urgent, to P5, which is like the just in the research stuff, and the current issues which are in the P2 or P3 are something we would like to get the merged in the production in some upcoming 2 weeks or in the next release cycle or whatsoever, which will be go to the production or require for some the cohesion of the integrity of some features whatsoever, you name it. So that's basically that's it. Another the way how to pick issues would be like maybe the check and the close the issues which has the number like under 1000, because there's like a lot of them. Maybe Xeldron can speak later on this. And there is a lot of the gold issues we didn't like extend or something like that, and we actually after some extensive research we actually just formulated this would be like super nice to have it in the Kodadot. So yeah, next stuff is actually that we have a lot of issues which actually are sort of linked, or actually they're repeating itself. But I know that like a lot of developers are notice this or so. That's really great. And I guess once you next time to spot like some issues are somehow the same, or these might be continuing one another, super nice would be like if you can like link them, and I guess we can like assemble the issues in some the bigger issues like the milestones, or make it like the chief issue, which is like sort of the master issue, and make it focus on one feature, new stuff in the Kodadot as well. So that's for the ways how to pick issues. So you can like feel free checking the issues, which is actually the Briggen is like the Bergen in the Norway, and the Aarhus, which is like in the Denmark, and we actually choose to name the milestones by the towns. So yeah. Next stuff is like the farming developer guilds. So with the current, the guild is probably not the last one, but definitely will be like our first one. And I will be like looking on the ways how to formalize these guilds, because in long term, these guilds would help us in some form, like what nowadays doing the web studios, dev studios in the web 2.0 would like help us to bring some bringing the various stuff using the Kodadot or other tooling around the Meta Prime. And I guess we will bring to the place some people who would like to pay for those various customization or so, or people can like attract the other guilds. As I've seen one guy on the dev random has a nice idea about the fractionalized NFTs and the pegging it on the Kusama well. So these and the many more I'm expecting like they will be coming, and to reduce the frictions and speed up like the deployment of the new apps on the Meta Prime, these guilds will be really more than welcome to be there. And how I'm thinking about them is actually that it might be like in long term rewarded, of course, on the treasuries or some other incentives. We actually just still in the farming. So yeah, next stuff is actually, oh yeah, of course, that. And since we're actually having the review bot, and will be, thanks to the beta, we'll have the assign bot and the review guild. Actually, I'm super happy, like I can like step out all of this, the development process. Actually, I'm like doing all the boring, the back office stuff and checking the processes. I'm just right now focusing on the hirings. Actually, we're right now looking to hire something on the next 10 to 20 people to scale up our staff. And I'm pretty excited how the whole Kodadot ecosystem will look like in the upcoming like 3-6 months. So I guess whole NFT space are really the heating up the game. I know like a lot of the marketplaces are scaling through the other chains. I can like definitely share. We are openly like in the chat with the folks from the Astar. We are chat with the Near Foundation and the other chains, which actually would like majority added some lot of user base and liquidity and that kind of stuff. And so speaking of the development process, this is actually I just noticed like just today. So this is actually something like called the reprography. It's some service, and there's like updates the graphs on the weekly basis. And what's great about it is actually we have definitely less new issues than the closed ones, which is like superior. And we have definitely like have some pull request dynamics, which I'm pretty stoked to see. And most importantly, like I trying not to be there, and it's like everything works without the payout or so. Next stuff on the list is like, we are going to the Amsterdam. I know with few of you actually we are in the groups organizing the booking, and I'm really looking to like see you in the person, since like we've been like working together on the stuff for a while. I mentioned I've seen the Victor, and I think the Damski, that's probably the scenes we haven't seen like yet so far. Peter, I've seen like 2 years ago, I guess, and with the Saildrome, it will be like first time for me. So I'm really looking forward, and for rest of you, that would be super nice to meet there. And we originally thought like there would be like some hackathon for the Kodadot, so I think we can still pull the trigger, because there will be some bounties. So there will be like on the place a lot of the hackers who would like to drive in some the summer participation, this kind of stuff. And best of it, we might give some the awards, which are really the real, and looking forward to unveil some pics once actually the awards will be done. So and and another stuff is like we definitely with all the surveys which actually out there, which actually we are paying like the $50 for free language services. It helps us like to keep adding the features which actually markets really demands. And we would like to keep this as the bi-weekly or monthly progress. So actually that delivers like a much better like audience would like to see or would like to build in Kodadot, what feature they're missing, or etc. etc. So we would like to keep this feedback loop even incentivized from the user perspective, because we care about what the users use, and we really like to pay for their time as well. And one very last one is actually about the sustainability. So yes, as I've seen that some people might have the concerns about the funding, I definitely can assure you that we are already out of the pit, like being a one-man show. So which is great that we have like the spread our knowledge among the other folks. So actually it's on average like between the 13 to 16 folks on a monthly basis, which is like amazing. And as we would like to looking ways to fund the whole Kodadot development as the public good, we are looking ways to get funded by the Kusama treasury. So actually in the turn they can like give us some money too, so actually we can produce some pull requests, and that will like drive the other nice stuff and the code base for the other components we plan to have. So like would like to drive of course the high quality and code base and reusable components that can all the stuff. Another model to fund our sustainability is actually, of course, is the white label. We definitely got something offered so far, but we will see. We definitely would like to have like the custom stores, but this is like something else than the super wide labels. But it's really just looking around, so that will definitely help us as well. And other stuff is actually with Victor maybe can speak later on that on the integration. We try to integrate the Basilisk for the recent the weeks, and similarly like the Basilisk, we're like looking forward to the other parachains actually to pay us for their integrations and leveraging their original NFT functionality on the chain, and that on the return we can like provide some liquidity to users and avoid like the fractionalized user base of the Kodadot whole. So like we would like plan to implement something like the seamless teleportation, and I guess we can like do something like the composable, because they have like the Picasso, which will like help the teleport assets between these two chains, like which are EVM based as well. So that's on the one stuff. And actually I surpassed my notes. And speaking of the Basilisk, of course they have like the locked balances. They will be unlocking soon, 3 weeks, you know it. And we definitely anticipate like the launch of their NFT marketplace. So I would like happy to will drive some of the writings that will bring something like the royalties, the makeovers and the proxy royalties. So with the proxy royalties, you can like add the streams to other addresses. Actually, you can send it to Ukraine humanitarian cases, your revenues or something like that, which would be really on the trustless as well. So, and speaking of the sustainability, I think just recently the Peter sent me that we might have the burn rate chart pretty soon up there. And we're actually quite super savvy. So actually I can definitely tell by the numbers we are running on the shoestring the budget by those number. And I think if we can get something like a bigger funding, we can definitely put Kodadot on something like competitive edge of the other marketplaces. We just need to figure out having that all the trustless setup, and everything should be of course like 2-3 times faster. And of course we'll be trying to bring something like incentivize schemes for the user base as well, so similar like the Luxor are providing out there. And and guys, speaking of our funding, currently we definitely have like reserved something like over 100k for the development of the Kodadot, because we raised some funds, but it was like intention for the parachain development. But hence we actually build the Kodadot quite super savvy. I think with the Meta Prime and all the running stuff there, we definitely can run much longer marathon, and that would be super nice, I would like say, with each contributor out there, which actually can get paid pretty well. And usual the ad that Hans I mentioned before, we actually hiring. So actually we'll be like looking for all the smart shadowy super coders who would like help us like the crack some issues, mostly like in the Vue.js and TypeScript. We later will be like looking for the people who are proficient in the Svelte and maybe the React as well once we have some the API. And of course we are constantly looking for the Rust developers, and most importantly, yeah, we are looking for people who are actually great in the operations and the growth. So like writing the playbooks for the artist and designing the ambassadors program, etc., etc. So actually you know it. And yeah, that's probably speaking of the Kodadot. And now, yeah, this is actually Meetup Prime time. So this is actually the animations like the wiki just founded like a few days ago, which is like in the 3GS and some shaders as well. It's super nice. And yeah, so speaking of this, I would like to spoil some stuff what we plan to have like in the Meetup Prime. It's still like it's not set in the stone, so actually this is like in the brewing. So first of all, we'll have like something like the Coda protocol, and we'll plan to have like running the Meetup Prime tested with a few of these the primitives, and we've been like exploring like what's like the new in the NFT space and how we'd like to de-economate it, all of this the on the steady rise, the gamify the culture, and how we can like satisfy the needs from the most of the artists. So actually we like been looking like through all of the lenses of the other perspective. So actually I would like go through like what features we might have in the future. The one of the super requested stuff was like something like on the DAO's ways. So imagine like the collab feature where actually you will have like the founding the DAO like structure with your friends, and you would like have like the 3 or 5 friends to craft some special featuring, and like creating your boy band. And imagine like the minting under the collective or the collecting as the collective. So actually this would definitely like fuel some the social NFTs in the scale, and I believe like it could result some DAO to DAO interactions. So similar like some the crew can have craft some ultimate art with the exceptional the curation X and XR worlds, and the folks from the other group like Italy Disco, that I renamed it like that, could like collect their capital or something like that, or that they could like do some the token swap as the Muto respect or whatsoever. So that's the thing. So that's one the feature we'd like to have there. Then next is actually on the auctions. So with the auctions, yeah, we've been working around with the Basilisk team, so they will have definitely kind of the auctions and leverage their work, which actually been approved by the Web3 Foundation, and we are definitely looking way to have it in the Kodadot as well once there will be like unlocked balances and everything's really running. Then next stuff is actually on the royalties. So royalties are definitely really anticipated stuff. And I believe with the proxy royalties, you can stream your revenue, for example, for humanitarian causes or whatever you decide. It's like super good to go. And it can definitely send the royalties in the trustless way. So I believe like we chatted with the Xeldron in the backstage. I would like to happy to have these Twitter spaces and maybe go deep down what's great about the royalties for the creator economics and the deep dive ways we can like use it or so. Next stuff is like the make offers. So with the make offers, we believe like once people can like drop you some bits in your NFTs or so, you can like choose which bit you would like to take, and from that bits you can like choose it based on the reputation of the who is actually bidding or something like that. And from here, when there will be like full order books on some particular NFTs, you can start creating some DeFi applications or so. So this has actually been requiring some more liquidity, and we are looking ways how to, of course, there's some verified ways how to incentivize the bidding as well. So yeah, there's actually the game theories on the bids and the auctions houses as well, what I've seen so far. Next stuff is the revenue share. So actually similar like the collab, the revenue share is something like you can like split your revenue share among your members of your crew or the collective. So actually you have like imagine somebody who came with the idea, somebody who actually doing the art craft, the designer or the shiller, and you can like in trustless way to split this stuff. So that's actually would be of course the possible as well. So imagine like crafting various the game mechanics using this. Next stuff is actually the verification by holding the token. So similar like there is like some the social tokens. Imagine like some people can or of course the Xeldron or Damsky can create their own tokens, and they can like have their sort of the fandoms created. So actually people like could buy the works from other people who actually holding, for example, the Xildron and Damsky token, and then could like drive the sales or so. So actually you can choose your tribe, religion, belief, in particular the social tribe, and you would like to definitely bring this as part of the Kodadot in the long run, because it's already technologically possible. We just need to figure out a way what would be like best and most easy way for the users to click buttons. Next stuff is that will be Wiki's favorite part, because we'll be talking about this on the Amsterdam as well. So this is something we would like to see, the NFTs which will have like some conditions. So imagine like the NFTs on the based on the chain conditions or some the yield or utility, they will getting some game or so. So it's like not final, but we are looking ways how to these NFTs could like triggers the other actions in the games, and something like the like in the RPG and the rooms, like some dungeons can be open based on, for example, how many people actually subscribe to their NFTs or whatsoever. So yeah, sky's the limit. Like your imagination is like what we are looking right now, and we definitely can look on something like this. Next stuff is actually the advanced tray system, so something like the GameFi ready. And we learned like that the nowadays NFTs like just support just the first level of the trades. So the like all the snipers or the trade snipers out there would like definitely see something more deep dive, or some the nested the trades for the NFTs as well. So imagine like some extended reality VR avatars have like a lot of the trades when you actually export them out there. So similar like we are in chat with, of course, some extended reality tooling that will like can build some tool which like give them some deep rarity or something like that. So that's like also some markets we see might be definitely building. Fractions is actually our favorite. So we believe like once there will be like more expensive NFTs, people would like to definitely would like to own similar like people like to own some pricey ape or pricey punk. They would like definitely ape into something, and naturally will create some the DAOs as well. So we'll definitely talk more about this later. Next stuff is actually the linking of the NFTs. So we found like something like the one way or the by linking of the NFTs could be a really nice way how you can create something like the chief worker scenario. So actually where the NFTs could be like the streaming the royalties to the chief NFTs, and you can think of many fairy tales like that the chief NFTs could be also linked to the higher or upper level NFTs as well. So and vice versa, you can get some the nested NFTs, or you can like on the same level. Yeah, so basically that's it. Next stuff is like the scheduler. So we definitely need something like the schedule the actions based on NFTs. So this will be like something like imagine like the cron. So similar like you have like something which like triggers the alarm where should what happened or so. We thought about like having the scheduler by the block time or some external clocks. So that's actually also based on the ways and the utility people like to seek. So it's still in the stuff. Another stuff is actually the native licensing, because we plan to introduce something like the forking remixing of the NFTs. So actually we noticed like a lot of artists actually are sort of the copycats. Actually they're taking over the 70% of the inspiration from the previous artist, but you are actually losing the original reference. So actually rather than like help like avoid these people like the steal culture, would like to embrace this kind of the fork cultures. Actually similar on the GitHub, you can see that from who is actually the forked code. You can definitely see the contributions. We would like to keep this the origin, and imagine like if somebody like fork your NFTs, they can like stream your royalties like 0.5% from each of their sales, and yeah, that's it. So there's like the vision behind that. Another stuff is like so once the testnet will be out, we definitely will be rolling this kind of the features in the one by one, and we'll be testing inside the Kodadot as well. And we're definitely looking forward for your help as well. So one small notice. Remember that we actually quite the most forked the NFT marketplace out there, and we crossed like 170 forks with the 70 contributors out there, and we right now looking on the ways to scale this. So we might like anticipating like crossing like 200 forks anytime soon, and going beyond like hitting like 300 forks. So and that's basically that's it. And of course, roadmap. We don't have any roadmap. So roadmap is actually when it's actually done. So we definitely see like in 3-6 months we can definitely have work to do, And once we have like something to launch, so at least like 20 or 30% done from the particular features, we definitely go for the crowd loan, which during the upcoming costs, like it shouldn't be super hard to get a slot. So, but this time we actually been driving some utility there on the chain as well. So basically that's it. And yeah, of course, we are always hiring. So actually, we are looking for the Vue.js and TypeScript people and the Rust developers as well. And of course, we are welcoming like non-technical people to help us like with the ops growth, probably design as well. And yeah, so and probably that's it for me. And it was quite long. Wow. And now hand overing mic to the wiki.
Wow, that was quite long. Thanks, wow, for the like super a lot of features. And yeah, so regarding to number as usual, we merged already more than 80 PRs since the last meet hours. There here is like the query how you can do that. And yeah, 80 PRs is like really wow. And yeah, it's also thanks to the review guild that many people are joining the code review. So it's, yeah, nobody's is bottleneck, so everybody knows about the code, and also they are responsible to pay out for the features, so they know how it works, so they are like part of the ownership. And yeah, regarding to the protocol, Vianguo summarizes like super well. But yeah, there is one feature which he doesn't mention, and it's called the bundles. So imagine that, for example, DeepLogic has that cute Kusama bots, which are sold for like 0.3 Kusama, and as a bundle, he can sell it. He can sell like three of them like for 0.6, so you have one for free. And this is really nice for the, yeah, game items in general and equipables, so you can sell, for example, the whole set of armor at once with a higher price. And yeah, to the reactivity, as Paul said, there are like currently is the idea which we work on. And basically your NFT uh, has a response to some particular event. So imagine, like, just the simplest example is like when your NFT is created, you can instantly list it. And the nicest thing about the reactivity is that it works both for the like simple remark classic NFTs, and also it works for the upcoming Meta Prime testnet. And another example of that is like when you burn some your token, you could fork it into some other generative art, so you can create another NFT because that previous one was burned. So like the possibilities on to build something like super creative is like infinite. So that's what we are looking for, because Meta Prime is basically the experimental NFT, like experimental metaverse landscape. And yeah, regarding to the Basilisk, Indexer is like tested and ready for production. So thanks to the guys from Subsquid, they are super nice. They are deploying the another archive node for the Indexer. So we'll wait for that. And these days we are working like super hard on the front end. So everything should be smooth as usual on the Kodadot. And we are starting to release a testing version next week. So there should be like incentivized testing also with some forms. So I'll I'll share some like Basilisk tokens, and yeah, I would be happy if you test it, because yeah, I expect some bugs as usual. So having like polished the implementation before like unlocked balances on the real Basilisk would be like super nice. And yeah, that's update for me. And I think Damsky is already here, or doesn't look like that.
Yeah, I should be ready.
Oh, nice. Hey. Oh, you change the logo.
Yeah.
You should update. You should update on the GitHub as well.
Yeah, true story. Yeah, I'll update.
Okay, so Mike, stage is yours.
All right. So when I was reading the the previous post from Val on the meta hours discussion, I've already thought that it's quite long, and then then he edited the post and added like two or three more times content. So I was quite stoked by that. It's pretty impressive how much stuff is planned, and with this, it's also quite visible that we will need many more people to our team, either devs and also some community related and social related people. So basically non-tech savvies. So we are definitely welcoming some help because we have a lot of issues to tackle around community involvement and some marketing. So I'm definitely welcoming some people who would actually like to help this, or if you have some friends who are good with marketing or who are just good with social, let's say bonds, then they can definitely join and just share their knowledge with us. So we've actually been working with Logic on some stuff. This, what you can see in the screen, is a badge, and this badge will be issued probably. There will be only three badges issued per one article, and since we are actually publishing articles right now on a weekly basis, then with every article we want to put out an NFT. Basically, instead of the sample text in the star, there will be a frequent reader. So that's the frequent reader badge. And instead of the sample text at the top, there will be the name of the article. And the point is that we will be doing a raffle probably with every article post. And if somebody is, for example, observant and reads the whole text and maybe is somehow active, it will be various. Sometimes the NFT will be hidden in the text, sometimes it will be hidden on Discord, sometimes it will be hidden on Twitter. There will be some like games where you can actually grab this NFT, and when you collect three NFTs, then you get paid, for example, 50 or 100 bucks for your activity, for your loyalty, and of course you have to burn those NFTs because then you could be doing this forever. So you can maybe keep it, for example, as a memory, but since we will have probably more of them with every article, then you can just you know keep them as a memory, but on the chain it has to be burned, so you can't cheat. So this is around the frequent reader program. I will be announcing this with an article, and we will also be gamifying developers in a similar fashion because some of our developers have a lot of pull requests done, and maybe we would like to gamify it by 20, 50, 100. And for example, if you reach some pull request level, let's say 20 pull requests per person, then you get some special NFT or maybe some bonus from Kodadot for your participation, and of course some memorable NFT to your wallet. So this is already in play, but this for example, this graphic creation, since Logic is also having his life and his issues, then it's sometimes taking some time on the both sides because I have to tackle some stuff also, and he has to tackle some other issues too. So we are cooperating together and creating those designs basically asynchronously. So it's taking some time. So this one is being finished. Basically, it's finished, and we will be working on a couple other mainly for the devs, and also some other stuff it's in the pipeline. So you can actually be looking forward for this one. And since it's animated, I think it will be pretty nice for your collected gallery. So I believe this will be pretty nice initiative for the people also. And we are also planning like something for ambassadors too in form of NFTs. Well, for example, they would be collecting those NFTs, but I will actually renounce this later in the talk. So um, we would be moving forward from this frequent reader program. We already have some, not already, but we have presence in the Pixel Abyss Glider. This is just basically a big gallery by one NFT artist, and he invited a couple of people to this gallery and actually invited some of us from Kodadot. Thanks to Homahoy for this shout out, and the Deep Logic also joined this session and inserted some of his Kusama bots. So we will actually have presence there, and we will be sending links to the gallery too. And also we have talked about some Twitter Spaces with the guys from the NFT sector and with the creator of the gallery. So we want to definitely focus more. We definitely want to focus more on the let's say user. Yeah, okay, now the volume is fine. We definitely want to focus a little bit more on the users, and we were also thinking to make something like, because these goals are, I would say, nice, but I'm not sure how many people here are technologically focused. So we are also thinking to start a user or let's say community calls, which would be basically only about NFTs and about how users are doing and stuff like that. So for that, we would actually need some active users, and we will be developing this idea. I think it would be a nice addition if we had this also bi-weekly. So every week there will be some call, basically either for the community or for the developers. So yeah, I'll be sending the link for the gallery later, and if you would like to join the gallery, I think there are some places left, and you will be also able to read about the Koda forest. There will be links to the article and so on. So around the ambassador program, I think I will skip this to keep it as the last thing in the list, because I would like to definitely involve the people which are here. So speaking of our survey, which is ongoing, it's actually our second survey. From the first one, we got plenty of ideas on how to actually upgrade our UX and UI. So there are a couple spots left. So those of you who haven't actually filled their entries, your chances right now, because I think in the evening I will be closing the survey, because there are not many participants right now. We actually got plenty of entries, but we don't want to keep it forever. We want this to be just if the people are really interested to help, then they can actually help us with that. So, and around the another contest, it's been maybe already a tradition when on the Meta Hours we've always started some contest. So the last contest was actually animated GIF memes, or was it? Yeah, it was basically animated stickers, and they have actually gone really well. I think we have showed a couple of them in the chat, and you can see them probably every day in the Good Morning channel, where either we post some GM or I'm coding or just some other stuff which was done by other folks. So I'm really happy that we have some nice animated stickers right now, and I'm thinking of some meme contest. Just not, it doesn't even have to be GIF. It can be just a meme contest, maybe something funny or something like that. I will probably lay out some other ideas around this and create a new channel for that. Oh yeah, and also we have been actually talking with Xylodrone about this probably some time ago. I can see that the Discord logo contest is still quite unclosed or unfinished, and there has been also some nice inputs. And unfortunately, we haven't chosen any of them, because maybe I would say we didn't like. I mean, the additions or the entries were nice, but we actually haven't chosen any because there were like not that many. But we will definitely be rewarding those who actually took up their time and did something, because they haven't been rewarded till now. And the contest is actually from November last year. So I will be sending some rewards to the participants, to keep them motivated. Oh yeah, okay. So now the ambassador program, a big issue right now, because I would say it's quite important to have some social presence, and also to reward people for their activity. So I don't know how many people actually have their microphones here, but I would like to ask a question. Hopefully somebody will answer. I would like to ask how many people, or how many of you, or if you have actually ever participated in any ambassador program. I would like to hear your opinions, or at least if you have ever participated in some program. Any of you?
I hang all the time up with the ambassadors from Polkadot from Germany, but I'm not an official ambassador and I didn't apply.
All right, I see. I see. It's plenty people here, but maybe some of the people are a little bit shy or not. They don't have their microphones, so I can actually share my couple, let's say, experiences with ambassador programs. I was in actually one ambassador program on Solana. It was a prediction market on Solana. It's called Hedgehog Markets, and they have actually done a, I would say, pretty nice product on Solana. It's a traditional prediction market where you can bet on some events if they are actually gonna be true or not, and then you have a percentage, and you buy some shares, and of course, if the chances go up or down, you can make or lose money. So I'm actually still ambassador there, even though I actually signed up for the ambassador program because I was very early in the project, and I even wrote an article for them. But I'm in the group for almost maybe 1 year, and the group is still alive. But I wasn't still kicked out, but I cannot see any rewards being sent to the people. The people, for example, in this community and in this project, they are still like doing it for just for the ambassador badge. Let's say they are ambassadors, and they you can see them then in the community that they are ambassadors, but they are not actually paid. So it's a little bit different approach than most of the projects, because usually ambassadors are at least paid or they get some revenue from the project. And if you can actually compare it to the Polkadot ambassadors, then of course the reward structure is a little bit different, because as far as I know, Polkadot ambassadors, if they for example do something, some, like for example, like a real life event, they actually have to make the event first, and when they make the event, then they actually can apply to the council and ask for some money. So I would say that we would probably go in a similar fashion in here on Kodadot, because it's actually quite hard to find some nice structure for the people on how to get rewarded fairly, because some people can actually work hard, and some people maybe don't work that hard, and it would be unfair to reward those people with the same rewards. So this will be probably maybe not that long, but I would like to lay out a couple ideas that I have around the ambassador program. So there would actually be a couple ways how to handle this. We'd definitely like to have ambassadors representing main languages and communities, because for right now, if you take a look at the world, then there are mainly, let's say, 4 or 5 languages which are the main. So it will be Chinese, but I don't know any Chinese in our community, so I cannot even start around that. But I can start with some Germans. I can start with some Spanish people, maybe with some people from France, and uh, and definitely maybe with some people from Russia and those countries that have quite similar language to us, but it's not really the same. So ideally, we would like to have those people, those ambassadors, who would be representative of, let's say, their nation. It would be good that they have some presence already in their local community, because, for example, if I would compare it to myself, then I know some local communities around Polkadot and Kusama, and if I would be, for example, the ambassador for my local community in Czech Republic, I would want myself as the ambassador to be active in the community. I would want the ambassador to translate articles, and I would basically like the ambassador to help local people actually find out more about Kodadot, and of course the person would get paid for that. So we will get to the rewards later, but same around with this. This goes hand in hand with writing articles and with some social and community interaction. So it will be pretty important to, if there will be some, for example, important article from us, it will be really important to actually have a translation for the article, and to share it in the local communities, in the local Polkadot and Kusama waters, and actually have some chat about that, because the article will be probably bringing a lot of new people, and not everyone can actually speak English, so it will be necessary to have some native channel where actually those users can stop by and the ambassador will actually talk to them. So we actually used to have it, but since it was not that active, we actually have made the channel private for now, but we will see how it will be with the ambassadors now. And of course, last thing that the ambassador would need to have is knowledge of Kodadot and NFTs in general. So we would definitely want to have somebody who has interest in Kodadot and in, of course, Meta Prime and NFTs in general, because we want to have likewise thinking minds in the team. So it will be easier for us to navigate and so on. Ah, yeah. So if I'm actually talking about the native speaking ambassadors, basically the ambassadors who would be let's say translating also the articles. When I'm thinking about this, it would be ideal if the ambassador who would be, for example, Portuguese, it would be ideal to be the main ambassador and also being the like we don't want to have one ambassador for the Portuguese and then one ambassador for the English. It would be good if the ambassador would be taking care also about like the English community and also about the Portuguese community. So we don't want to really like have this much distraction. So ideally, the ambassadors who would be hired, let's say for Spanish language, the ambassadors would be also writing articles in English and then translating to for example other languages and so on. So, of course, the ambassador overall would have to be like would have to have some community activity on Twitter, Reddit, Discord, and other channels. We will soon be probably creating some Reddit topics and AMAs on Reddit to bring some new users. So we would definitely want the ambassador to actually be active there. And if we are talking about activity on Twitter, then for us, in a way, it would be quite easy to actually find out if the ambassador is active or not, because usually when ambassador would interact with anybody on the Twitter, they would probably tag Kodadot so the users can actually see the Kodadot page and what is the ambassador talking about, so we will be able to verify that. As same as on Reddit and Discord, and if there would be some other channels, then it would be quite easy to actually verify if the ambassador is really active or not. Then, as I said before, it would be probably pretty important if the ambassador would be actually some good writer. It doesn't have to be like the best writer in the world, but since it's a community person, it would be necessary to write a couple articles, maybe a couple articles per one quartal. I mean, one article per month would be something really nice. It can be around the local community, it can be around some new updates on Kodadot and stuff like that. So we would definitely welcome this, and I think it would be really nice to have these articles on, because I believe these articles stick with the people. And if you have a look at our Medium, then some of the articles are like half and half community and development. So I think it would be nice to balance it with some more community and NFT focused articles. So, and of course, the ambassador would have to be like would have to have overall support for the whole ecosystem, and possibly somebody with a long term focus. So, yeah. Well, anybody have some questions about this? Do you want to ask anything, or maybe chat about this somehow?
Yeah, I would like maybe ask that how like people from the other ambassadors programs could like be rewarded or something like that. So imagine I'm ambassador for the Astar Moon River. Can I join the being ambassador for the Kodadot as well?
I think as long as for example, you would do the work. For example, if you are ambassador already for Astar and Composable, and Astar and Composable wouldn't mind for you to take another job on being actually an ambassador for Kodadot, then I think it will be fine, because in the end, I believe in the Dotsama we definitely want to stick together, everyone as a whole, even though that sometimes there is maybe some rivalry, or maybe sometimes you know how it is. But even though you would be ambassador for 3 or 4 programs, if you are active in Kodadot and if you actually believe in Kodadot as a thing, and you can prove your activity, then I think it would definitely be a possibility to have ambassadors who are, for example, also Astar ambassadors. Because if you actually have insights from one project, and then you bring some ideas from the project and you bring it to the Kodadot as an ambassador of Kodadot and also as the ambassador of Astar, I think it will be making pretty nice synergy, and it will be also much easier for us to communicate with other projects. So I think we would be actually welcoming ambassadors from other projects, but of course, you would have to talk with your ambassador leaders, let's say, from the other projects, if it's actually good or okay, if it's actually to take up on some other projects. So yeah, thanks for the question, but I think it's pretty important to stick together, and I think we would welcome it actually. Does anybody have any other questions, or should I move to the reward structure for a bit?
So, will you give a chance maybe someone who's like just new, or are you looking for more for people who already knows what everything is, or yeah?
Yeah, we definitely don't want to like restrain the ambassador program to only people who are on Kodadot for, I don't know, 1 year or half a year, but we definitely want to give this ambassador chance to people who we can actually see that the person is active in the ecosystem. It doesn't have to be like some gigalong activity, because as you know, crypto is very fast moving space, and we want to give a chance even to people, to some person who would be, for example, starting, or imagine if somebody would be referred, you know, some friend who is actually good in social relations, and you will tell him that he is a good guy, and then you can come to Kodadot and maybe have a chance at ambassador program. We will be definitely actually looking for these people also, because they are new blood, and they have fresh ideas. Because as you can maybe see, then some people who are on Kodadot, they actually know the ways, they actually know how it works here. But on the other hand, bringing a completely new person, or person who is not at Kodadot for a long time, it could actually mean a new stuff being cooked at Kodadot. So we will be definitely welcoming those people too. And if they will have like enough engagement and they will actually want to do it, then we will be welcoming those either. So yeah, that will be for the question. Does anybody else have some questions? All right.
I guess can you like take us to the reward scheme? Like what we can as the ambassadors can see?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Probably I will just probably talk about it now, if it's fine. So, because I haven't actually laid out the structure, I have it laid out for me in my notes, but I didn't lay it out in the GitHub, because we want to actually work on this a little bit more. But the basic structure would be, I can actually paste this. This is I will paste this to the Meta Hours channel, so we can actually have a look there if somebody is screen sharing. So this is a basic premise for the ambassadors. And I take these four, let's say, these four categories. I take it. I might actually post it to the GitHub too if you want. Yeah, you can actually edit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with the community meetup. So the rewards for the community meetup are probably the highest. It will be around $300, because we believe that if you actually do some community meetup, it doesn't even have to be strictly about Kodadot. It can also be around NFTs and around like this in like NFTs and the Dotsama in general, because I believe community meetups or even offline events for your community, I believe, are quite impressive. Let's say meetings, because if you have a look, for example, right now on Meta Hours, there is plenty people listening, and plenty people actually trying to figure out if they want to get involved or not. So for community meetups or offline events, we would pay something around $300, because you have to actually plan a lot of stuff. You have to book a place, you have to invite the people. Then you know, at the venue, it's usually 3 to 4 hours. You have, for example, for 1 hour you could maybe talk and give some workshop, but then it's another 2 or 3 hours with the folks at the place. So I think that's quite nice initiative. And the offline event can even be on our Discord. You can just, for example, if you have some idea about a workshop, maybe you are a creator who has some experience with trades or with creating NFTs, or you would like to make a workshop for how to design your I don't know, NFT, or make some SVG format or something like that. If you make a workshop for this and it's actually in our community, and you would be ambassador, of course you would be paid for that, because it's actually moving the community forward as a whole. So moving on to the next one, if it would be an article or video in English, we would actually pay 150 or 200 bucks for that, something around that, because of course, if it's a new article and new video in English, it's basically a new idea and a new article which would be going out. So we actually value the time and the new idea. And if it would be then right under that, there is like an article in local language, which would be basically translation and activity around that. So let's say we publish an article which would be marked by us that this is ideal for translation, and we would actually pay for this, for example, 100 bucks, which is I would say it depends how long the article will be. It can of course be rewarded more because there is some more activity around that, and it would be actually paid something around 100, 150 bucks, something like that. And the last point is something about like the weekly Twitter activity, the weekly Twitter, Discord, and Reddit. I actually wrote on it Twitter, but I think I mean activity as a whole. So that would be actually 100, 150, or even more. It depends really on how much the person will tweet, and how many users can actually come based on that. So this is some basic reward structure, and this is just a work in progress. So I would definitely love to talk on it, and maybe have some other opinions from other people who are talking on this, and maybe just hear the community. Even if you can't talk right now and you would like to have a chat about this, then I will most probably, I'm thinking to create an ambassador channel, because this will probably go live soon anyway. So if you would have some ideas, you can drop your ideas in the ambassador channel. I will actually create it right away. So I will be actually also right now, I'm welcoming any suggestions, and if you have any ideas or questions, I will be happy to answer those.
Nice. Okay, that was actually really nice. I think we should like put it on some deducts or something like that, and start spreading word about it. And yeah, so do we have like the limit for the first ambassador who will like applying or something like that, or we are taking everyone, I guess?
Well, it depends. It depends also on. I can actually be honest about this. It also depends on how much we want to spend on this. So we have to talk about this also a little bit internally, or even here. Depends on you. But I think if we would, I was thinking actually to start with 3 or 4 ambassadors, and I would want these ambassadors to, at least one of them, to be, for example, representative or of French, or representative of Spanish, or some language like that, because I think we need to spread our world into these countries too. So I would say that ideal start would be 3 to 4 ambassadors, and we will see how it goes, and if it will go nicely, and we will actually, because those 3 or 4 first ambassadors will be let's say let's say the testing ambassadors in a way, because we will be figuring out how it works, how the ambassadors are happy, and so on. So um, I think I would go, for example, with 3 to 4, because it will be also a little bit easier to manage for now. And yeah, and we will see. And we are also, I have actually inserted a question into the survey, where I'm asking what would be the ideal reward if you actually bring 20 active users to Kodadot. And based on those replies, I will also see how people would actually want to be rewarded for their time and for their activity. So yeah, we will probably also be with this ambassador program. We will be launching an invite program. It's pretty simple, based on your name on Discord, and based on the invites you create. Then we will be able to see how many people joined through your link. So it will be also easy for us to actually verify how many users have you brought, and if you actually bring, for example, 20 users, then it's easy $100 for you, or easy $200, so something about this. Yeah.
Oh, and I guess we should prepare for the ambassador the ambassador kit or something like that. So actually, it would like help them the spread the word much easier. I guess that would like help the ambassadors like lift off a lot of work, I guess.
Yeah, this is what we've been actually talking a little bit about with Arconomics. We were actually chatting about this a little bit before the meta hours, and it would be good to actually have a like content marketing plan, or I don't know how it's called in the traditional world, so we can make some name for it. So it would be basically a content planner, or like marketing plan on how to actually like, let's say, a playbook. Yeah, something that it will be easy for the ambassadors to navigate on what to share and what not to share, and when to share it and stuff like that. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Yeah, so I would actually like to hear from you if somebody has any questions around this ambassador program, or has some ideas, or maybe some experiences from other blockchains or other communities. We are actually welcoming those. And the same as I said, I have already actually created the ambassador program. It's in the K coordination channel. So feel free to drop your ideas, drop your thoughts, and we will develop more from there, definitely. Yeah. All right. So I guess this would be with the ambassadors program. I'm thinking what to talk about next with this, but
Yeah, that's actually quite important right now. Okay, yeah, that's actually something we would like been missing, and a lot of people actually been bumping like how they can like join us if they're actually non technical, and that's actually was like initial goal, like having with all the stewardships and there. So yeah, that'll be super nice. And yeah, those actually who are actually listening, we still have like few issues in our GitHub issues for the writing. So actually, if you would like to help us with the writing, like non-technical articles, your help is more than welcome to spread the news and all the stuff we have. And oh, and I think for next Meta Hours we should talk about the incentive program for the creators. So actually, how I would like to be onboarding the new creators to the Kodadot as well. So yeah, looking forward for this.
yeah, exactly. And I'll probably be talking a little bit more with Limo later, because I think he is here right now. I'm not sure if he has his microphone on, but we have been talking a little bit on this, and we will be sharing some other ideas also about this. I'm I'm not sure. Limo actually dropped some nice sheet for me right now. I'm gonna ask him real quick if I can actually share it, just because he dropped me a nice research on other ambassador programs. Wait.
You hear me?
Yeah. Little bit badly, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, you can feel free to share that. It should be fine.
Okay. So I'll actually share this on the screen. Just a sec. Mm, yeah, just a second. So you should be able to see my stream. Can somebody confirm? Yeah. Okay. let's go. So this is actually quite nice that I have got hands on this research. We can actually see in this tab that there are some teams that have some ambassador program, and of course, I was talking about actually on later, not later, on meta hours before we were talking about the Kodadot token. This situation and this reward structure will be, of course, different a little bit when we have the token. If we are going to have it, I guess we will. So, of course, you can see that some ambassadors are paid actually in the native token of the project, which is actually a usual structure. But maybe we could be a little bit different for now and just pay the people in Kusama. So we can actually see that they are getting from, for example, in Akala, they are getting like basically fixed tokens for when the parachain slot was obtained. So I guess it could be the same in our case when we would have a meta prime parachain. Then those who would be actually active till the meta prime parachain, then they would get some tokens, for example, if there would be a token. So, and as same as I think this is almost the same as with every, there is like no formal agreement with the ambassadors, so it's just like a casual classic thing. And yeah, Moonbeam. Yeah, I've actually been talking also about this with guys from Subsquid, and they have told me that some of their people are actually ambassadors too, but they don't get paid, which was a little bit similar to the experience I was talking about on the Solana blockchain I had, that the people were just doing it for let's say almost for free. So I think when I look at Talisman, it has quite okay structure. 120 USD each for 15 days. Each 15 days.
I think the main takeaway is if somebody is providing value to the project, it's philosophically not correct to not reward them in some way, if that makes sense. Like if people are putting in like effort and providing like original content, especially, you should reward them for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have like a similar structure even without a ambassador program, because right now when we see some activity, for example, bug reporting or some activity on Discord, maybe some good feedback, then we send the reward to the people anyway, even without without the ambassador program. But with the ambassador program, it will be a little bit clear. But when I look at the sub-social, no guaranteed payment, some social community manager can reward ambassadors at his discretion. Yeah, that's quite similar to what we have right now. And but it would be probably good to have a structure, because sometimes I guess people just like to have it, let's say, on a paper, even though it would not be like you know like formally agreed on. Yeah, okay, I
It's
can
a
see some.
it's a difficult thing because
Yeah, go on.
sorry.
Or yeah. No, go on, go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a difficult thing because you can have like a table that like if you do X thing, you get like X number of points, and you just need to make sure people are being honest and not just spamming like kind of low effort content, right? Um, so there's definitely got to be maybe there doesn't have to be, but most teams have it's at the discretion of like somebody, right? Somebody has to verify that the content the ambassador is producing is like has a decent amount of effort and isn't just like spamming stuff, right? To try and game the system in a way.
Yeah. So, oh, you are right that if actually the points and stuff like that, it would be also nice to be collecting some points. Then for the points, you would actually be able to get some money. So yeah, that's one actually way to do it, and I can actually talk about one more way I actually remember now. Some of you maybe know Bankless DAO on Ethereum. It's actually like let's say content media DAO, and their structure is they are mainly producing content, but they are also producing some like tools for developers and also for users. But in our case, it would be basically that we as a team, probably maybe some like let's say the guild, the community guild or the ambassador guild, the ambassadors will be coming up with ideas, and those ideas will be marked somewhere in some let's say some bot would mark those ideas, and if somebody would want to take this idea, then of course it would be assigned to him. So we would make like a similar structure to the GitHub issues that we have right now. So the idea would be assigned to him, and once the person actually once the person actually brings the content and is ready for deployment, then the person would get rewarded based actually on the let's say on the event and on the rewards that we would actually say in the event. So there are a couple ways to do it. It would be good that it would have a deadline too, so it wouldn't be random. Basically, we would, for example, let's say we would publish an article on Sunday, and I would put in the bot or in the program I would put translate this article till I don't know 4 days to Spanish, Russian, and I don't know Chinese. And if somebody would want to take it, they can take it, and if they actually make it in 4 days, then they can be rewarded, something like that. So there is actually many ways how to do it, and it's definitely better to do it with your own token, but it's also pretty motivating to do it also with the KSM right now. So I'm looking forward to actually work a little bit more on this. I think with Limo we will have a look more on this and maybe do some structure about this. So yeah, I think that's it for the ambassador program. I think it might have been even longer than Val's pretty long entry, so I don't want to bore you more with this. So if you have any questions about anything, then you can definitely ask. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it was super nice. I think it's just the early version of the ambassadors program, and yeah, we definitely like to have like the seeking the right way to set in the stone rather than like doing different stuff. So yeah, and
Yeah.
and yeah, I think from this recording people can mind listening hopefully to us or the Discord, and we definitely can like see you participate in the one. So round this up.
Wait, I actually couldn't hear like a couple last sentence. What were you saying?
Yeah, maybe microphone wasn't picking up. I was actually, yeah, we definitely looking forward for those people who actually been listening from recording this the first ambassadors draft or the version 0. They could like get back to us to our Discord, and they can like probably to join the Tower channel and that probably ask us more about the info, what's like the current strategy. Or I guess after once we'll be the recording published out there, I think we'll have some dedicated page in the docs on the docs.kodadot.xyz. I guess so. Or if we like search on the documentation like for the ambassadors program, you definitely see there's some more information about that.
Yeah, we'll be definitely developing the docs pages for this, and also I will probably make some survey about this also to maybe gain at first experience from other people, and also to get some feedback on this. I think a survey will be pretty nice way to collect some information, and of course the survey will be paid. So I'm looking forward to hear from you guys, and if that's everything and nobody has to say anything for these meta hours or ambassador program, then I think I can give a mic to Yang Wao. Or do you want to say something more? Or
Yeah,